day, subscribers. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am Jeremy, and this is the Financial Education Channel. And today we're talking about engagement rings. We're talking about that happy time in life when you are thinking about getting married to your loved one, your future spouse. And I'm going to go into detail today about diamonds a bit, because not a lot of people know about diamonds, and it's very important that you know something about diamonds before you ever go into a jewelry store. I'm going to talk to you about how to negotiate at a jewelry store. I'm going to talk about some of the tricks they'll try to play on you. I'll talk about some of the sales pitches they're going to try to throw at you, some of the different moves they may try to make. And today I'm going to talk in general terms of what my experiences have been at jewelry stores, as well as what I've seen friends and family and others deal with at jewelry stores. So I'm speaking strictly about my experiences at different places. So, take it for what it is. First things first, diamonds. 4 things you need to know about a diamond. It's called the 4 C's. When I went to get my wife an engagement ring, I had no clue about the 4 C's. It's very important you at least know about these, so then when they're speaking to you, it's not just a bunch of jargon coming at you. There's carat. How many carats is something? There's color, which is the color of the diamond. There's many different colors. There's the cut. What type of cut is the diamond? There's many different cuts. And then last is clarity. How clear is that diamond? The 2 most important, in my opinion, is how many carats is it and how clear is it? Color and cut are secondary, in my opinion, but for every person is different. Some people might like a specific cut of a diamond. Some people would rather have it be super clear than have a ton of diamonds. So there's different grade scales of diamonds and those sorts of things. So that you need to understand. And also there's different colors of diamonds. That you need to understand before you ever walk in a jewelry store and think about getting an engagement ring. So then at least when they're talking to you, it's not a bunch of mumbo jumbo that you're like, what the heck are they talking about? I have no clue. What does a cut mean? What does a clarity, color, all those kinds of things. If you want to know more into detail, you're more than welcome to look that up. I don't think you need to really know much more than what basically those things mean. You don't need to be a diamond expert. But knowing those 4 things will help you understand whether you're getting a good deal or bad deal, and knowing what you want before you ever go into that jewelry store. So, dealing with a jewelry store. First thing you need to understand is most jewelry stores, the people there are paid on commission. So they are going to try to sell you as expensive thing as possible, and that way they can make the commission on it. Let's be honest, they're not stupid, and I can't blame them. If I was in the job, I would do the same thing. I'm trying to sell as expensive thing as possible. And they're not bad people for doing it. That's just a fact, so understand that. So I recommend when you go into a jewelry store, don't go in your nicest clothes. Go in some average Joe Schmo clothes. Don't go in there looking rich. If you got a nice car, if you got a brand new Mustang or Escalade or whatever, don't park that in the front so they can see it. Don't go in there looking like a pile of money, because if you go in there looking like a pile of money, they're going to see a pile of money and they're going to try to sell you the most expensive ring possible. And we can't blame them for that. That's their job, and they're paid on commissions, most of them. They want to make that money. So understand that. Don't go in there trying to flaunt, because that's the last place you want to go in and flaunt. Let's talk about how much to spend on an engagement ring. Every person is different. Some are going to want to spend a lot, some are going to spend a little. My opinion is, however much you make for 1 to 2 months, however much you can actually save. So if you save $2,000 a month, then you should spend between $2,000 and $4,000 on a ring. If you're making bank and you're making $100K a month and you put $50K towards savings per month, then you can get your, future wife a $50,000, $100,000 ring, something ridiculous, because you can afford it. But for most people, I say 1 to 2 months of whatever you can save. And then whatever that number is, then you can afford that ring. And then don't ever get a ring on a loan, in my opinion. That is the silliest thing you can do. A ring, it's a ring. It's not a freaking car. It's not a house. You shouldn't be getting a loan on a ring. Absolutely not. I completely disregard against that. And paying interest on a ring? Are you kidding me? That produces nothing? It's just a ring. It's just a monetary thing that's on your finger. It doesn't help you make money. It doesn't help you get to this place or get to this place or do experiences. I've heard a lot of people say 6 months salary is what you spend on a ring. I'm like, that's insane. You know how many vacations you could go on and experiences and things you could actually experience and have memories of that you could do with that rather than spending it all on a ring? That's just astronomical, in my opinion. But I'm not going to hate. If somebody wants to go and spend 6 months salary on a ring, then do it. Nothing wrong with that. That's just my opinion. So 1 to 2 months of whatever you can save. Now, going into a jewelry store, I talked a little bit about them trying to upsell you. Also, don't get emotional about the decision. A lot of salespeople, they're going to try to play emotions on you. Oh, this is the woman you love or the man you love. You got to get them the best ring. And they're going to try to play emotions on you and get to feel in some kind of way. Like, oh, and then you make an emotional decision. And when dealing with money, you don't want to make an emotional decision ever. So before you go in that jewelry store, have a cap on the most money you're going to spend on a ring. Don't tell them that cap, but have a cap. If it's $4,000, I'm going to spend maximum $4,000 on this ring. If it's $2,000, if it's $1,000, if it's $10,000, whatever, know that in your head, but don't tell them that because then they're going to try to sell you whatever's right at that price point. And you want to go based upon ring. Jewelry shops. You need to go many different jewelry shops, in my opinion, and see what everybody's got. Because some jewelry shops are going to give you tons of service, but for that service, you sure as heck pay up for the ring. I went to a jewelry shop when my wife and I were getting engaged, and their ring they were going to sell me was less than I got at this other shop. In the other shop, it was half the price. But the other shop, it was all customized, and I had 2-3 people helping me, 2 or 3 women talking to me, helping me. Obviously, you're going to pay up when you get that kind of service. Whereas the other shop, it was like you go up there, and it's just like one person helping you, and you have to wait a few minutes till they even can come over to you, those kinds of things. But I got a heck of a lot better ring for like half the price as that original ring was going to be. That was customized. Try not to ever sign something unless you want to actually get that ring and you're going to get it. A lot of these jewelry shops, they're going to fool you. They're going to say, hey, no, you just sign here so you can reserve your ring. That's what I was told. That's what I was told the first time, and I've seen other people fall for this trap. Next thing you know, it's not just that you reserved it. You go home and read the fine print. You're actually not just reserving it, but you're committing that you're going to buy that ring on a certain date. But they tell you it's just reserving it. And then when you go back and say, hey, you know what, I don't want this, they're going to tell you, oh, so you're returning the ring. Yeah, I never wanted it in the first place. You guys told me it was just to reserve it in case I wanted to get it. So don't be fooled by that. They're going to try to get you to sign this document. Don't sign it unless you're getting that ring. Read the fine print. I highly recommend that. A lot of people have been screwed over that way, and it's so sad. It's so sad. Especially if you're a young person and you really don't know. You probably don't even know that much about diamonds. And then you get thrown in this place and there's this person helping you and this person, and then they say, oh, just sign right here so that way you can reserve it in case you want it. And the next thing you know, it's actually a commitment to buy it. That's really dirty in my opinion, and so many of those jewelry stores out there do it. And it's such a dirty thing. So be prepared for that. Don't sign any document unless you are actually getting it. Don't take out a loan. Be prepared that they're going to try to sell you the most expensive ring possible because that's their job. Most of them are paid in commissions. Don't show up fancy. Don't show up in a nice suit. Don't park your nice car if you have one right in the front. Don't tell them the cap, the maximum amount you're going to spend on that ring, because then they're going to try to sell you something right at it. Don't get too emotional about this decision. Make the best decision for you and your future wife or husband. And whatever that decision is, it's your decision. No regrets. But don't get taken advantage of, because many of them will try to take advantage of you out there, guys. Anyways, thank you so much for watching today, guys. This explained a little bit about engagement rings, about the 4 C's: color, cut, clarity, and carat. And then this also explained about, dealing with jewelry stores. Oh, one point I just remembered. If it's a mom and pop jewelry store, a lot of those ones will negotiate with you on price. I'm glad I've remembered to mention this, because a lot of you guys are going to go to mom and pop jewelry stores. You can negotiate with them. They're going to try to work a deal. If that ring says $5,000, you might be able to get it down to $4,000. Jewelry stores usually have some of the highest margins out there. they usually mark those diamonds up a lot because they don't sell a lot of them. So they mark them up way up. So try to work out a deal with them. Now some of the bigger places, it's going to be harder to work out a deal. They might not even have a policy that you can work out a deal. But if you really like a ring, try to negotiate. And then if, the negotiation's not working out and they're not willing to bid, then you don't have to get that ring. There's 10,000 other jewelry shops you can go out there. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, guys. You may want to subscribe if you haven't. Talk a ton about personal finance, talk about investments, stocks, talk about entrepreneurship. I'm a young entrepreneur. I like to do videos about that every once in a while and business tips. And you know what, guys? Have a great day.